everybody. I hope you're having an amazing week. So, I wanted to, since it's Halloween season, I wanted to do something a little spooky. So, I've been listening to this podcast, and you can actually find him on YouTube. You can find him on Spotify, wherever you listen to music. Wherever. I'm sure he's on Apple Music. Malachi Martin, a very famous exorcist. I'm going to play you this behind the scenes of The Exorcist, the creation of a horror movie. You guys, look at this. That's not her. That's a damn doll. Robot, whatever you want to call it. This actually creeped me out. We could not watch this as a kid, but we went to a drive-in when my boys were little and our kids. I had no idea that they were playing a double hitter with The Exorcist as the second movie. I can't do it. I can't do this movie. And I don't know why I'm like infatuated. No, I'm really not infatuated. But I watch this here, but I can't actually watch the movie very much. And I think it's because I know this stuff actually really happens in real life. I think that's what creeps me out the most, is this actually happens in real life. Let's keep watching. Shh, look. Watch, you guys. Oh my God. In the spirit of Halloween season, these guys were actually amazing in the 70s to have this look just like the actress. I'm like totally amazed by this. Look at this. Look. We are going to get into the interview with an exorcist. Oh yeah. Look at her eyes move. Oh my God, guys, look how creepy that is. Look, if that doesn't send chills down your spine, I don't know what's wrong with you. Holy shoot, crap. Look, you can tell there's actually a difference, but it looks identical, except for she's a little pudgy on the right, and she's the robot thingy over there is not. I could not imagine. Oh, let me get her off. I could not imagine being her and having to. Oh my God, I just couldn't even imagine. So I went off into a rabbit hole with this whole Malachi Martin. I have actually listened to this twice. This is a radio broadcast, actually, from 1990s. So it's a 3-hour broadcast. Okay. I want you guys to just listen to what he's saying. Ooh. Yeah. Let me get this correct on here. I don't like the way this is. I don't like it. I'm very anal when it comes to aesthetics and how it looks and everything. I apologize because I actually just did this video. God help me. And I didn't like it. So I'm like, let's redo this again. Enjoy.
Dr. Malachi Martin, ex-Jesuit, former exorcist, and one-time advisor to 3 popes, is currently a best-selling author As a premier investigator of clandestine politics and unlikely alliances of popes and cardinals, his novels offer rare insights into the men who guide nearly 1 billion people in faith and broker the destinies of countries and continents. As a member of the Vatican Intelligence Network, I didn't know they had one. Martin helped extend the church into Iron Curtain countries in 1964, concerned about the corrupting influences of power. Martin was released from his vows of poverty and obedience after 25 years as a Jesuit. He left Rome for New York, where he did odd jobs until a Guggenheim Fellowship enabled him to write.
He did odd jobs, but he performed a lot of exorcisms here in the United States.
His first bestseller, Hostage to the Devil. It was followed by The Final Conclave, Vatican, 3 popes, and the Cardinal, The Keys of This Blood, The Jesuits, and apparently many others. He's a very prolific author. To give you some idea of how he is reviewed, Forbes magazine said, "No spiritual journey is complete without a Vatican page-turner by Malachi Martin." Sacramento Bee said, "It is to Martin's credit that his real-life fictional cardinals have flesh, blood, and bone, sometimes the heart of a South Chicago ward healer."
Very acclaimed, obviously. He's a highly acclaimed author.
The Dallas Morning News said, "In biblical times, they would have called him a prophet." Publishers Weekly said, "It is impossible not to be impressed with Martin's profound knowledge of men, issues, and history." I could go on and on and on and on. For 30 years, as a Catholic priest, Dr. Martin did exorcisms. So from New York City, staying up late, here is Dr. Malachi Martin. Doctor, welcome to the program.
Well, good morning there, Art. How are you?
Oh, I am very well, and I am so honored to have you here.
No, I'm really privileged to be talking on this vast network. It is really universal.
It really is universal now. It's amazing.
I heard you describe it from north to south, to east to west.
Oh, yes. Covers a lot of territory. I'm not, my background, doctor, is not...
I want you guys to think. I grew up believing that no matter what I did, all I had to do was ask forgiveness for whatever sin I committed. But my question is, and he actually gets into it, and this is a 3 hour and 7 minute. We're not doing 3 hours and 7 minutes today. This is probably going to be a 2 and 3 part, 100%. But if you have artists out there as monsters, all you have to do is ask forgiveness and you're going to go to heaven? Really? Please make that make sense to me. I want to my dad is a retired pastor. He has a doctorate, an actual doctorate in theology. So please make this make sense to me. Who's in hell? Who is actually in hell? Or is all of this stuff they've been cramming down our throats, is it really true? Think about that.
Not Catholicism. I'm not Catholic. My wife is.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to stumble and bumble, and I hope you'll bear with me.
I doubt that you could stumble and bumble in anything. But anyway, we'll take that as a simple statement.
And take this also as a simple statement. Many years ago, many years ago now. You can tell me how many.
Yes.
The movie The Exorcist came out.
Yes.
It was the first of its kind, really, major movies, and it scared the hell out of me. Be honest with you. And as no movie, even with all...
I'm going to tell you, it scared the hell out of me because I know this stuff actually happens. I know someone personally that has performed an exorcism.
all their horrible little monsters ever has since. And I'm not sure why.
Isn't that funny? Isn't that interesting? I find that very curious. I really do.
Maybe I get so interested in this. We need to know. I need to know. What is out there? What is it that these demons want to possess us? I know they want our souls. It's so much deeper than what we think. It's so much deeper.
Even more than any of the Dracula and the Frankenstein films?
Even more than the movies with Alien, where monsters are popping out of people's bellies and all sorts of horrible things.
Yes.
And I think the reason is because I viewed The Exorcist as real.
Yes, I think so. And it did touch on a chord, the existence of demons, which could, on occasion, inhabit the body of some human being. I think that might be the element. And to set also, that particular picture was set in Washington, real lifetime Washington, you know. And you had real live-looking characters undergoing these horrible contortions and distortions. So I suppose it did. The fact is, Art, that at the back of our consciousness, at least in, I was going to say in the West, but then I know it's the same in India, it's the same in China, it's the same in Japan, and in Latin America. At the back of our consciousness, there's always a fear.
It's always a fear. And I don't understand why we have such a fear. I have a fear, even though I want to know more. I want to know more. Even though I have a fear of the unknown. It's crazy.
The evil one.
Yes. Well, there may be a reason for that. The evil one. Now, let me start there by asking you, is there a difference between possession by the devil and possession by a demon?
Yes.
Yes, there is. You see, the mythology or the legend or the doctrine or the teaching, whichever you want to regard it as, it holds that there is a major evil spirit called Lucifer. And there is another one called Satan. And they are accompanied by, or they are among, many, many smaller demons. And these do attack and possess human beings in their will and their intellect. That's the general sort of picture you get from books and studies.
Why did it happen just to us? Is it because we're vulnerable? And we're weak-minded? Or what is it?
And doctrine and teaching about the devil and about evil. And I think what I was saying was that I think at the edge of our consciousness there's always the fear that perhaps indeed there is such a thing. We don't believe it. We Catholics do hold it, and Christians in general do hold it, but there's a consciousness, there's some evil spirit at work. It could be in our world, and we're afraid of it. And that it can, according to the belief in many parts of the world and in many parts of history of man, there is the possibility of being possessed, of one's body being dominated by such an evil spirit and used for nefarious ends.
Is there something out there that is so powerful that it can possess us? Does that not scare you guys? enough to go, oh my God. What scares the hell out of me, because I don't want to be possessed by anything.
Doctor, is the devil a fallen angel? Is that correct?
That's the idea. That they are all fallen angels.
Yes.
The idea is that once upon a time, 1/3 of the angels of God revolted against him and were condemned to hell and became demons.
What was the purpose of that rebellion, Doctor?
The purpose of the rebellion was simply the ambition of one spirit, Lucifer, the son of the dawn. That's what his name means, the light bearer or the son of the dawn, who said, I will not serve. I will be equal to God. And he was opposed by one spirit who said, who is like unto
You think ones that are out there committing SA or are saying, I am equal to God? And that's the reason why? Honestly, they get possessed and commit what they do?
unto God? And that's the name of Michael, Mikael, who is like unto God. And there was supposedly this huge battle between the spirits, and the demons lost. And Michael and those fighting for God won. And forever the fallen angels, those who rebelled, are condemned to hell and condemned to be evil and to promote evil amongst human beings.
How do we, human beings, fit into the picture? It's almost as though the war is over human beings.
Yes, it is over human beings. The teaching is that once upon a time God envisaged the world inhabited by
It is a war for our souls.
men and women and served by angels. But when Lucifer and Satan and the other demons, then angels, were asked to collaborate and cooperate and serve human beings, especially one particular human being who would be God, namely Christ, Jesus of Nazareth, they said, no, we are angels, we are superior to these material beings. We haven't got their limitations, and we don't die, and we haven't got material bodies, we are pure spirit.
Really deep. Really deep.
So they were destined originally to serve human beings, and they refused.
Doctor, when did you become, how old were you when you became a priest?
I was 33.
33.
33, and that was in 1954.
And when did you first encounter, as a young priest, how did you encounter anybody who was possessed? I know you have done, how many exorcisms have you done?
I've done thousands of minor exorcisms and about a couple of hundred major ones. Major ones?
Major exorcisms and minor. I guess for me, a possession is a possession. I don't know if the demon just wants to hold on and I'm not going to let go. I don't know. Like, this is what intrigues me, to find out more and find out what. And it's not like a race thing or, an age thing, or it has no boundaries to who actually is possessing.
In duration and in intensity are difficult, very difficult, and they're far fewer than the thousands of exorcisms you do every year. Exorcisms against various ailments like, for instance, persecution, a complex, where you're really being obsessed by a devil or a demon, or alcoholism, or is it?
Understand, alcoholism, drug addiction, it's all part of a demon.
The human ills, the list is enormous. Now, I first of all came across it in Cairo. That was the first time that I assisted at an exorcism.
He also helped with the Dead Sea Scrolls. If you don't know what those are, please, God, look them up.
Cairo Cairo, Egypt.
Cairo, Egypt. I was there. I originally started off as an archaeologist, and I was an expert in handwriting, ancient handwriting, about the time of Abraham. That's about 1700 BC. That's about, 3,000 something years ago.
Wow.
And
Wow.
I was roped in one evening because an exorcism which was taking place in the poorer quarter of Cairo, the assistant to the exorcist, there's always an exorcist and an assistant, the assistant had fallen ill, and I was asked to substitute. And that was my first experience.
Well, it is my understanding. Again, I'm operating from total ignorance here, other than
I just feel like if you have to be really, really prayed up, so to speak, to be able to perform an exorcism on someone. Because if you're not, that demon can attach to you.
than the movies that I've seen. And
Yes.
it may be all wrong. But my understanding is the Catholic Church does not lightly undertake to do an exorcism.
No.
How does it decide?
It decides this way. It's
You know,
all
it's
right.
funny
So
that the Catholic Church doesn't necessarily, what's the word I want to say? Acknowledge the fact that there are exorcisms around, but to go through certain things by the diocese, you have to actually be trained to perform an exorcist.
So somebody comes to the church authorities and saying, look, my uncle, my brother, my wife, my sister, whatever it is, they are showing very funny signs. And there's usually in every good, well-run diocese, there's an exorcist, that is a priest appointed by the local bishop to deal with this. So the first thing you do is examine them, get them examined by a doctor, and find out, are they physically sound?
Certainly.
You see, there are ailments like La Tourette syndrome or Huntington's chorea.
So true. So true. But a lot of psychiatrists do not believe in this. They don't. Even though it has been proven time and time again, they don't believe that you can be possessed. They don't even believe in demons. Most of them don't even believe in God. Most scientists don't believe in God. It's weird.
Or a simple tumor in the brain, which produces phenomena, produces events in a person's life that look very like possession, but are not. So you must first of all satisfy yourself that there's nothing physical, no physical basis. Then one or two expert psychiatrists, usually people who don't believe in God, by the way, because they're skeptical, must tackle you and find out, are you just plain loony, or is there something they don't understand? And
Sure.
if they come back with a report saying, well, the pattern is normal, we can't explain it, then the church authorities generally say, okay, let's try exorcism. And in the first 20 minutes, believe you me, in the first 20 minutes, everybody at an exorcism ceremony knows whether it's genuine or not. It's quite clear.
In the longest or the hardest exorcisms,
I'm at a loss for words. And like I've said before, I think this is the reason why I want to know more. No. Do I ever want to be possessed? No, hell no. But I want to know why. I know it's for our souls. Where are our souls actually going? Because if I go out there and I commit murder or RA or R or CP, and all I got to do is ask God, please forgive me, and I'm going to heaven. So who's actually in hell? Who is actually going to hell? We are going to do a couple more on this interview, this radio interview, because back when this interview was going on, they didn't have, they had TV, obviously, but they didn't have, like, cell phones and, they didn't have TikTok, they didn't have Instagram, they didn't have YouTube. So, it's like, think about this. And this is Halloween season, the spooky season, right? Alright, guys, I hope you've enjoyed part 1. Stay